crafty friends, happy Fri-YAY! Can you believe it's Fri-YAY already? Oh my goodness. Well, it is June of 2026 and today we're gonna make a really fun bobblehead card using the June 2026 product of the month Wild Bunch. It is such a cute set and I hope you can get your hands on it. It is absolutely the cutest, and when I saw it I couldn't wait to start playing. So we're gonna do some blending with our Stampin' Blends, coloring, and all kinds of fun today. So let's get started. All right, well, let me first show you up close the super cute Wild Bunch stamp set. So this is the product of the month for June 2026. And it's called Wild Bunch, and you can get this as an add-on. It's like a purchase with purchase. So when you shop in my online store, you can go here, stampinqueenbee.com, and click on the shop button. It'll take you right to my online store. And when you shop this month for $75 or more, you can, of whatever you want, you can then add this as the product of the month for just $5. So it is such a cute set. I was so excited. I love when they do a stamp set as product of the month because there's so many things you can do with that, right? So when I first saw this, the first thing, you know me, I loved, of course, the sentiments. I love this little heart here because it's kind of like odd shaped. It's really, really cute. And then of course we've got our Highland cow, that's what we're gonna be using today, a snail, a koala, and the most adorable penguin with little add-on images as well that you can pair with them. So let me show you the card. It's really, really fun and really, really cute. Sending love. We've got this cute Highland cow. You know, they're all the rage, these Highland cows, right? And they're totally adorable. And then look at the most fun little bobblehead with our cow. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to color that. And then of course we've got our inside. So let's get started. I've got our parts and pieces cut, but let's stamp our images first. So whenever I get a new stamp set, the first thing I like to do is just stamp a bunch and be able to color them. So I'm using our new basic black hybrid ink pad here and our cute Highland cow. I think he or she is just totally adorable. So we're just gonna go ahead and stamp. Well, I didn't press very hard there, so let's do this again. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and stamp. We're gonna hold it there a second. And much better. Okay, and then I probably should move this to this side. There we go. Less of a reach that way, right? So what I like to do is just stamp, you know, a whole sheet, or this is a half sheet, and just get a whole bunch of images down on my paper. So there aren't any dies to go with this set, so we'll be hand cutting out. I'll be using our new detail scissors that are coming out soon, and they work so great for small kind of intricate cuts, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and stamp a few more of these. Let's do maybe 2 more. And we're gonna actually need 2 of these for today's card. We're gonna need 2 of them because we're gonna need 1 full image, and then to make our cute bobblehead, we're going to need a second image. So we're gonna color these in just a second, but what I like to do is grab my detail scissors, and I find it's just easier to cut them smaller first when there's less kind of paper around them. I just have found it's easier to work with like a smaller piece, right? So I've got those, we need 2. And before I go and color them, same with die cutting, I like to get them all cut out first and then color, because what if I color them all and spend that time and then I mess up? And so what I like to do with my detail scissors is I like to actually cut deeper, not close to the point, but deeper in there, and then just kind of move my paper. Now the way that we're using this today is white on white. And so that is a little bit purposeful, because if you are not good at hand cutting out, it is, you know, something I think we all get better at the more that we do it, right? But if you don't love it, what's great about white on white is it doesn't have to be so perfect, right? The kind of white background behind it hides any cutting imperfections, we'll call them, right? So I'm just going around and just kind of moving my paper, you see, and kind of trying to keep it more towards the inside of those scissors, at least as I start my cuts, right? And then just go around our little feet, our little cow's feet. So you notice I didn't do it that perfect by any means, okay? Now for the second part of our cow that we need, we just need his or her head. So we're just gonna go ahead and trim here. And then this has kind of some broken lines, which is great for doing this because it comes apart real easy at the right underneath his chin there, right? All right, so then we'll get this one, and then we will get to coloring. So I'm gonna be using my Stampin' Blends today, and I'm just using 3 colors. So we're gonna use our Barely Blush, and we're actually gonna use light and dark in our Barely Blush. There we go. We're gonna use Crumb Cake, and we're gonna use some Pecan Pie. So those are the colors that I'll be using today. So let me zoom this in just a tad. There we go. I just wanna make sure you guys can see the coloring. I know I always love to see the up close, right? So I'm gonna start with light Crumb Cake, and I'm gonna use the bullet tip end for this. So anytime it's like a smaller little area, I like to use the bullet end. So for the kind of the horns, we're just going to color those in real loosely, and we'll do both of them here. And when I color with my blends, instead of making like lines when I color, I like to make little small circles. So I'm just kind of like coloring in a little small circle. And I don't go quite up to that stamped line, because the alcohol markers tend to, you know, they have alcohol and they're meant to blend outward, right? And so you want to give them a little bit of the room to be able to do that. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with my light Barely Blush, same thing, bullet end, and I'm just going to add a little bit near his ears on both sides, like on the insides there. And then we're going to get right in on his nose. And I think that looks like his tongue, so that's what we're gonna call it. All right, so let's get in on the second one. We're just doing the exact same thing on both of them there, okay? Then we're gonna take our dark Barely Blush, and we're gonna go over just what I call his or her little tongue area there. So cute. All right, now let's grab a dark Pecan Pie, and I'm just gonna go over, so Highland cows are like really hairy, right? And so that's kind of their cuteness. So we have all these great little lines of hair that are already on our image here. And so I'm just taking and kind of going along those lines and giving that kind of hair stroke look that is stamped already on there, right? I'm just kind of going over that. So I'm gonna do it again over here. And it's meant to look like hair, right? So you almost want these kind of lines to show a bit and give a little bit on the ears too. I think I forgot these ones. There we go. Maybe a little up here as well. And then back here and a little bit, you see on the body here, we have like those little fluffy hairs, just kind of little strokes. So that's what I do first. I'm just kind of outlining it where the lines already are. I'm not adding any of my own, just kind of going over those. Then I'm gonna take the light pecan pie, but this time I'm gonna use the brush tip end because now I want to do some blending with, you know, that kind of, I think it's a softer look with the brush end, right? So then I'm just gonna take and start at the top, and again, in that circular motion, I'm just gonna kind of go over and fill in his cute little face here. Oh, it's darling. Really starts taking shape, right? Then I'm gonna add just a little bit on the tops of the ears here and right on the bottom. There we go. See if I missed anything. And then we'll move to this one and do the same thing. So you can still kind of see those lines that we did with the dark, but now we're softening them a little bit with this brush end, kind of in that circular coloring. Little small circles, right? Up in their ears. Oh, so cute. All right, and then at the bottom here, we'll do his little body. Or her little body. Little cute cow, right? And the tail, same thing. You could use the bullet end with this or just carefully with that tip. All right, and then I'm gonna take again the pecan pie in dark once more, and I'm just gonna kind of go and add just a tiny bit more just to make sure we see kind of that detail of, do you see that? That little detailing in the kind of hair. I don't think it's called fur, but like the hair of our cute cow. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, and oh so cute, right? So we've got those done. Let me zoom this back out. There we go. All right, and now we're just gonna move that to the side, and now we can put our card together. So I've got my card pieces here. So we've got our card base. This is thick basic white. And just as a reminder, I forgot to say this earlier, but you can go to my website, my blog at stampinqueenbee.com, and you want to make sure that you're signed up for my free weekly, I call it my Buzz Bulletin, which is just my weekly, whew, that flew out of my hand, my weekly newsletter where I will email you the free printable tutorial for my videos. Each time that I do them, it's just something I do as a free service to you, as a thank you for watching my videos, for liking them, for sharing them, for subscribing, for shopping in my Stampin' Up! Online store, and for supporting me and taking my fun classes. I just love to give back to you all and offer that free PDF download for you with each of my videos. So I've got another piece of basic white here. So this is just going to be kind of a layer that we're gonna add on there. And then I've also already cut down a piece of Secret C. And so what we're gonna do now is we're just going to glue our Secret C layer right to our basic white layer. And all the measurements are on that free PDF that I send out with my video. So you don't want to miss that for sure. All right, so we're just gonna center this one on there. I love my liquid green glue so that if I need to scoochy it a little bit up or down or side to side, then I'm able to do that, right? And then I'm gonna bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals, flip this over, and we're just going to put our dimensionals on the back of this and pop it up right on our card front there. This set is so cute. So you'll have to tell me in the comments which of these super cute wild bunch is your favorite. I really couldn't pick. I love the cute little Highland cow that we're using today. The penguin is just adorable. They are all so cute. I love them. Couldn't miss out on that product of the month, right? All right. Okay, so we've got this layer and we're just going to center this, and I just kind of like to look at the top, left and right, and get that where I want it first, and then I just let the rest of it fall into place. So we've got our thick basic white card base, our basic white layer, our secret C layer, and then I have the layer that is like our focal layer that we will use to stamp on. So we're going to use this cute checkerboard stamp with our new Barely Blush ink. Love this pink for sure. It's really soft and it's actually a pink, which I like. And we're just going to stamp this kind of right there, a little towards the bottom edge. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our solid cow here, the full one, with a little bit of liquid glue, just right kind of grounded on top of our little checkerboard there, almost like he's or she is standing right in that. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and add that down. So cute. And then we'll take this piece and we'll just add this right to the center of our card front. So we've got that. And then I'm going to take some basic white and there we go. Some basic white, and I'm going to use my favorite sentiment punch, this 3-banner punch. And so you can see I have a little plastic bin here that I have already done this. So this middle one is my favorite sentiment strip that we have because it fits so many of our sentiments perfectly, and I don't have to then worry about cutting the perfect banner edges because they never line up for me. I don't know about you, but they always look wonky. So this way I don't have to fiddle with that, and the punch makes it super easy. So I'm going to bring in some Secret C ink here. And my sentiment that we're using is sending love. Sending love. And so we're just going to ink this up with our Secret C. And it fits perfectly on here. So we'll just line that up, stamp down, and hold for a second so that all that ink transfers nicely. And then you have a super cute sending love sentiment. And this, we will bring our dimensionals in and just put a couple on the back of there so that we can pop this up right underneath our cute little cow. So I like to do this before we add the bobble, the little bobble wobble, just because I think it's easier than to add. And we'll just make sure that's straight and we'll put that down. So cute, right? It'd be cute just like this if you didn't want to make it wobbly. And so to make it wobbly, we're going to use this other piece of our cow that we colored. And then I have here some, they're called mini action wobblers, and you can get them at craft store, my favorite store, Amazon. And so they're just the mini wobblers is what they're called. Mini wobbles. And so that's what they look like. Super cute. And so we're just going to go ahead and peel this off. It's got a little kind of cutout there, right? So already has the adhesive on there for us. And how I like to do this is take off that biggest side, and we're gonna stick this right on the center of our cow's face, or whatever you want the wobble to be on. And we just wanna make sure that that's real stuck down, right? Then there's another piece of adhesive on the top here. So we'll just go ahead and get that off. There we go. And then what I like to do is kind of hold it down and line up. I'm just lining up. You see the cow on the bottom, kind of works as like a good way to line it up, right? And then I'm just gonna stick that cow that we colored, just the head part, right on top, and it'll adhere. You can see the little wobble in there. And how cute, we now have a little cow bobblehead, right? Adorable. And it almost looks like a shadow, right, with the other behind it. So it's perfect for that cute card, right? So let's do the inside now. I'll just put that to the side. The inside piece is also another basic white layer. And I'm gonna bring in a little piece of grid paper here because we're gonna stamp off a bit. So we're gonna use that same Barely Blush with our same checkerboard we used on the front. And we're just going to checkerboard the side here. So I've got my Barely Blush. And you can see I'm stamping off the paper, right? So I did it once. I'm gonna turn my checkerboard and stamp it again, ink it up, stamp it down again, and we're just going to continue this all the way down our inside piece. There we go. Perfect, so cute. And then we'll just go ahead and add this to the inside, and then we will add a couple of embellishments to the front of our card to finish it. And we have a nice quick and easy card that is so super cute. I think the layers and the easy wobble makes that little bobblehead mechanism just a fun addition to our card, right? And using 2 images of our cow, I think is just another fun way to be able to use our stamps, right? In just a different fun way. All right, so let's use our embellishments. We're using the Moody Palette Glossy Dots, and I love them because there's Secret C in these. So I'm just gonna use my Take Your Pick tool and pop a couple of these off. So we're gonna use 3, so 1 big and 2 little. And let's add 1 more. These have lots of good sticky on them. Perfect. See how good those match? I love that. So that is our cute Bobble Wobbler, our little bobblehead. So fun. These cards, like, you just can't help but play with, right? So there are both of those. So I can't wait to hear how much you love this new product of the month. It is one of my favorites for sure, the Wild Bunch. I think they knocked it out of the park with this, that is for sure. So thank you so much for joining me today and every Friday. If you want to join me for some of my classes, we have a fun summer scrapbooking workshop class coming up. You can find all the details on that on my blog at stampinqueenbee.com. And of course, if you're not signed up for my weekly Buzz Bulletin, please do so I can send you those free resources each week. Have a great one, and thanks so much for watching me. Bye-bye.